Brian Dulesky, Able Distributors. Today I'm talking about the Condair steam humidifier. I love this humidifier. I've got a couple videos linked below talking more about it, but today I wanted to talk about the controls and controlling the steam humidifier. So Condair has created it's actually really slick, a sensor that goes in the return duct. You wire that to the furnace. It talks to the Wi-Fi in the home, so now the homeowner can download their app, put it on their phone, and control their humidifier from their smartphone. So that's option number one. Using the Condair app for control. You need Wi-Fi, so that might change your mind on which way to do. The homeowner needs to download the app. You have to use the duct sensor that comes with the steam humidifier, and then all the controls will be on their smartphone. Now that sounds amazing, but sometimes you run into little glitches. Either the homeowner doesn't have Wi-Fi, doesn't want anything more on their phone. It's a new construction house with no Wi-Fi set up yet. So there are options that you might need to think about before going with that option. So now we enter option number two. This time you use it with an existing thermostat, one that can control humidity, like a Nest, an Ecobee, a Honeywell, or an existing humidistat. Let's say they have a humidistat mounted on the wall and they're like, you know what, we like using that, we're used to it, and you want to control it from there, now you can. So, a few things. You do not need Wi-Fi in the house, so again, new construction or somebody that doesn't have Wi-Fi, no big deal. Use the humidistat that they have or the thermostat that they have that has that connection. You use the Bluetooth Contractor app to set up and change where you detect the sensor. So now you can change, you don't have to use that duct-mounted sensor. Now you can use it and choose the thermostat or the humidistat that's existing to control that. So this might be simply that the homeowner has their thermostat on their phone already and they don't want two apps. They want to see everything on one screen and be able to adjust humidity, temperature, all that stuff. I understand. Or they don't want anything on their phone and they have a decent thermostat now that can control humidity too, and they can have everything at one PowerPoint thing on the wall and done. So that's an option number two. Some of the controls, the connections, and the optional accessories. So when we go through the connections, and I'm going to put up a picture here now for this. X1 is pretty simple, power, L1, L2, and ground. You can go 110 volt or 220. Now that's going to change how much humidity you get out of this thing and how efficient it is to run. 220 is always a better option with steam humidifiers. Connection port number X2, that's for your humidistat or the connection in the thermostat. Now we know that some thermostats, like I believe a Nest, you have to have a little isolation relay. We're going to come out with some drawings to help you out on that, but that's what that connection is. Connection X3 is simply for an air proving switch. So if you're nervous and you never want that steam humidifier to come on unless that fan is actually running, you can add an air proving switch in there. Now, I think most guys are probably going to bypass this because for years and years we've been installing steam humidifiers and just trusting that the whole system's going to work. X4 kind of relates to that too. It's a high humid switch. So if the humidity ever gets so high, this is a little digital sensor you put in the return duct. If it senses the humidity in the house is way higher than what you have it set for, it simply won't let the humidifier run. Again, I don't see too many people going with that, but it's an option. Connection X5, that's simply between the humidifier and your air handler or your furnace. That allows the humidifier to turn the fan on when it calls for humidity. So it has the capability of adding humidity without heating your home. And we get that a lot, where it's a nice sunny winter day, your house is extremely dry, but you really don't need any heat. So now you can add humidity without having the furnace running and producing heat at the same time. So these are your connections and the accessories, pretty simple. This, I think, is probably going to be the most popular setup nowadays because we sell a world of smart thermostats, and why have two devices that you got to double check with? Have it all in one place is kind of a good option. If the people want to control it from their phone, if humidity is, that important to them and they want to use this setup, this is in the instructions too. So we have instructions for this, we have instructions for this. And these are just simply the connections and the options you connect to this fantastic steam humidifier. As always, thank you for shopping at Able Distributors. Brian Valesky, thank you.